Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're making a double layered paracord bracelet. It has one of these chunky buckles which I love. It's got a twist mechanism to lock it and unlock it. So you can unscrew the little bar there, place your loop for your bracelet on, and then screw the bar back up to secure your bracelet. For our design today, we're using about 70 centimeters of paracord and a metal buckle with a screw-in bar that's 20 by 30 millimeters. Now with your length of paracord, you want to place the ends together and then bring one end a little bit shorter than the other. So say about 10 centimeters shorter on the end, but make sure you've still got enough for 2 layers to go right around your wrist. Now with our loop on this middle end, we're going to attach it to the buckle. So placing the loop down the middle of the buckle and then bending it back over the buckle. Now once it's on this side, we twist it once and then bring this loop back over the buckle. Now gently pulling it tight to pull this ball hitch knot nice and tidy. Now that should make a nice secure attachment between your paracord and your buckle. It does make a nice looking knot as well. This ball hitch knot does have a cross at the front of it. It's a little bit hard to see with my black thread. But just make sure it's pulled through nice and tight and that cross is sitting at the front. Now we've got our longer cord here and we're going to tie a bowline knot onto this longer cord. Now we want to figure out the right size for our bracelet as well. It's helpful if you know your wrist measurement. And then we want our bracelet to be about 3 centimeters longer than that. My wrist measurement is about 16 centimeters, so I'm working towards having my loop at about the 19 or 20 centimeter mark. Now for our bowline knot, we bring this longer piece of cord across to the right and bend it up and around to form a loop. So it's this top layer coming around and across to the right. Now with the end of our cord here, we bring that up the loop and then around the back of this cord here, and then take it back down the loop. So pulling that end through a little bit. Don't pull it tight just yet, but it's this bigger loop now that's actually going to be the loop for your bracelet. So we're gently going to work our bowline knot down a little bit closer to the position that we want it in, and trying to keep this bigger loop here on that 19 or 20 centimeter mark. So gently working with it until it's in the right position and sitting at the right length. Now before we pull our bowline knot and that loop down nice and tight, we're going to place this shorter cord up inside the bowline knot as well. So following this first cord into the knot, if you need to, just lift that little piece up and tuck this cord in under there. So you want these cords to sit nice and tidy next to each other. Now we can really focus on that bowline knot and the loop on the end and pulling them down into the right positions. So I'm just going to work my loop on the end a little bit smaller. It doesn't need to be very big. So bringing some cord around to make it smaller. And then just double check that I'm pulling it down onto about that 19 or 20 centimeter mark. And it's all in the right position before I pull it all really nice and tight. So now you want to just give each cord and each angle a really good pull. Make sure it's all locked in place and that your cords that come around the bracelet are sitting parallel and nice and tidy. You can check your bracelet for size as well. You can try it on if you need to. And you can always untie and retie your knots if you're not happy with them. But if you're happy with it, then you can go ahead and cut these little tails off I cut them nice and short, leaving about 2 or 3 millimeters. That gives me something to melt so that I can fuse it onto my knot. So bringing all those cords out of the way and just really gently melting that end with my lighter, and then tapping on it as well so that I can fuse it all onto the knot so that it won't fray or undo. So same on this cord as well. Nice and short, but then melting it so that we can tap and fuse it onto the knot. Sometimes when I've melted my paracord, I notice a little bit of the white fibers from the inside showing. So if you want, you can just colour those with a black marker. So there's your double layered paracord bracelet with the metal buckle.